Senator Roberts.
Casual miners, so-called casual miners working in central Queensland and the Hunter Valley are each owed the average for wage theft back pay around $33,000 per year for every year of service. $33,000 per year. If you're a casual, you are likely owed $33,000 per year you have worked. My amendment aims to get these miners their back pay. Before getting to that, I note that the Senate has yet again been hijacked in a guillotine this afternoon when almost half the Senate want more debate. This is a grotesque abuse of power, a grotesque abuse of democracy, a grotesque abuse of process in this Senate, the People's Senate. Serious guillotines. We know sometimes guillotines are arranged, and that's fine, with consent of just about everyone. Serious guillotines, where there's a genuine disagreement between Labor and the LNP, and where there is a need for more debate, here are the figures. 45th Parliament, 2. 46th Parliament, 24. 47th Parliament, under Labor, Greens and Teal's coalition in the government. Halfway through that, 39 already. 39. Almost all guillotines involve a Labor, Greens, Teal, Senator Pocock coalition. This morning we have Senator Thorpe and Senator Pocock amending significant industrial relations legislation affecting many employees, small businesses and employers around the country. Yet we have limited time to assess and almost no time to debate. Minister, last night in my second reading speech, I explained in great detail what I believe is the largest systemic wage theft in Australia. It's explained in the independent report that One Nation commissioned. And I foreshadowed an amendment to pay casuals working in black coal mining industry. It's being tabled. Casual coal miners are each being ripped off to the tune of around $33,000 each every year. Labor's bill would put more power with union bosses. After what I unveiled last night, that's putting the fox in charge of the henhouse. The CFMEU, Construction, Forestry, Mining and Energy Union, enabled and supported wage theft from casual coal miners. The CFMEU negotiated and endorsed enterprise agreements that pay casual coal miners less per hour than the award combined with a 25% casual loading. Some enterprise agreements in the coal sector paid casual and still pay casual workers less than a full-time worker receives per hour under the award. Ignore the loading. Less than the award. A casual being paid less than a full-time worker. How? CFMEU union bosses negotiated and approved this wage theft. Minister, union bosses negotiated and approved these agreements that pay casuals less than full-time workers, yet your bill places more power with those union bosses who failed to protect workers, who betrayed workers. Union bosses who enabled theft from mine workers. The Fair Work Commission failed. The Fair Work Commission failed to properly assess these agreements and let them sail through. They approved them. When I asked the Fair Work Commission at Senate estimates to provide me with a copy of the Better Off Overall test, the boot test, that they had conducted for just one of these enterprise agreements, they could not hand over a single document or spreadsheet. Not one. This is a theft, a wage theft, resulting from cosy collusion between the labour hire companies, including the world's largest labour hire company, a foreign-owned, Japanese-owned parent company, a collusion between the labour hire companies, union bosses' betrayal of workers and the Fair Work Commission. All three are culpable. My amendment on sheet 2339 would trigger a review of those coal enterprise agreements to ensure they meet all relevant entitlements. It would ensure any underpaid casual coal miners are compensated for the wage theft they have suffered. Pay them their $33,000 each per annum that they're entitled to. This cost would be apportioned between the offending labour hire company, the employer, the union and the Commonwealth through the Fair Work Commission for their culpability in the wage theft. Senators who vote for Labor's legislation without voting for my amendment are endorsing massive wage theft, Australia's largest ever wage theft. Legislation, Minister, must not just attempt to fix it for the future. It must right the wage theft, get the back pay. Minister, why doesn't the government support my amendments on sheet 2339 to pay back entitlements for casual coal miners that have had wages stolen from them, $33,000 on average per year?
Minister.
Thanks, Acting Deputy President. Senator Roberts, thanks for providing a copy of this amendment to me before the debate started. The government does not support your proposed amendment. We consider that the bill, as it stands, that we're introducing here, provides a considered and balanced framework for defining casual employment and supporting casual employees to convert to permanent employment. The government has consulted with a wide range of stakeholders to reach a position that addresses both employees' and employers' needs. The government's reforms last year, that were passed last year, also give labour hire employees the right to seek orders from the Fair Work Commission that provide entitlements to the same pay under a host business's enterprise agreement. Casual labour hire employees in the black coal mining industry can also seek these orders. So, Senator Roberts, the bill, as we are presenting it, already addresses the needs that casual workers, whether they be miners or others, undoubtedly have. And the reforms that we made last year, in our amendments last year, around the labour hire loophole, were also designed to address the rights of casual coal miners in particular. Now, Senator Roberts, I've obviously been in a number of estimates hearings where you've raised these issues. It is my observation that you have been given answers to these questions on a number of occasions by officials. You haven't accepted those answers and you continue to ask the same questions. That's your right to do so, but I think it's pretty clear that whatever answer you're provided won't satisfy you, and that's your right to continue campaigning on this issue. But I would remind you, Senator Roberts, that last year when we did introduce changes to benefit labour hire casual employees to ensure that they are paid at least the same as the permanent workers they work alongside, it was unfortunate and surprising that you voted against that change. So I would have thought that if you were as committed to the rights of casual coal miners as you say that you are, you would have voted with the government with those reforms that we implemented last year. So I was surprised that after a number of years of you campaigning on this issue that you voted with the coalition against the interests of those labour hire casual coal miners who you say that you represent.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you. Minister, let's have the full truth. We voted against that because it didn't address the core issue. There is no casual permanent wrought loophole at all, other than the one I've just discussed. The simple solution is the Fair Work Act needs to be enforced. The Fair Work Act needs to be enforced. Your bill covers the future. Your previous bill covers the future. It shuts the door to back pay of these miners who are owed, on average, $33,000 per year for the breach of the Fair Work Act. Why are you covering up union bosses' culpability? That's what you're doing, Minister. That's what Minister Burke is doing. Minister Burke has received 2 letters from me on this issue. We get a polite, nothing to see here, move on. I've written letters. Miners have been in touch with personal meetings and provided solid written evidence with the department's senior advisors. Nothing. With the Minister's office senior advisors. Nothing. With the Fair Work Act, Fair Work Commission. Nothing. With the Fair Work Ombudsman, who used a fraudulent document to deny any case for the miners, despite the miners having 5 documents, including court hearing transcripts, that say their documents are correct. Why are you continuing to cover this up? Miners in the Hunter Valley, miners in central Queensland. Why are you continuing to cover it up? Is it because union bosses in the CFMEU are culpable because they have engineered this? Is it because union bosses in the CFMEU are the ones who started labour hire in the coal mining industry? Is it because that they were actually employers and they've had some commercial agreements that we've got wind of? Minister, these people are entitled to their back pay. That's what I want, and that's what this amendment covers. It covers their back pay. We don't want this bill to go through and just simply bury the issue. That's what Minister Burke is doing. Why are you covering up for union bosses? Is it because they funnel millions of dollars into Labor Party campaign coffers? Why are you not doing this after almost 5 years of me bringing this to your attention?
Minister.
Thanks, Acting Deputy President. As Senator Roberts has just made clear, he has been raising these issues for 5 years. The questions have been answered for 5 years, and I don't propose to add to any of them. But again, I would point out that Senator Roberts and Senator Hanson did have an opportunity late last year to vote with the government to ensure that the rights of labour hire workers in coal mines were protected, and unfortunately Senator Roberts decided to vote with the coalition.
Please wait for the call. Senator Roberts.
I will repeat myself. We are not voting for legislation that covers up, endorses and prevents miners from getting their back pay. When this Labor government stops covering up for CFMEU union bosses who've done dodgy deals, stops covering up for the Fair Work Commission and the Fair Work Ombudsman that are not doing their job, and covers up for labour hire companies that are rorting the system, we will not vote for legislation that prevents miners getting their back pay and covers it up.